Hey, what's going on? How's it going? Welcome to Late Night Live with Sean, brought to you by the Antisocial Network. Great fucking network of amazing human beings, amazing creators, and I'm glad to be a part of it. If you guys would like to support the channel, if you guys would like to uh, get involved with what I'm doing, what we're doing, go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, follow, and hit the notifications to let you know every time that we are live. Also, if you'd like to support me personally, I have a Patreon set up, patreon.com/Sean, or sorry, sitting with Sean. That'll help me get a better microphone. That'll help me when I'm back in my normal spot to get a better chair or upgrade my products. Just a little something to help me out, seeing as I'm putting out products. So with that, I have a very fucking awesome guest tonight, Rob Wild. So what's going on, Rob?
Who's your awesome fucking guest?
You?
Oh, shit. All right. Sorry, man. I'm still rocking out to that awesome 70s porno, 80s porno music you had jamming. I was over here doing all the corny dances.
Bro, I'm telling you, every single time I hear that the intro is just like it makes me feel good. You know what I mean?
Gives
In
you
more
that
than
warm
one way.
feeling down in the nether regions.
Yeah, down in the nether regions that you and only your partner see, or your partners.
Or people who are watching online.
Yeah, occasionally the internet,
There's nothing wrong with that.
depending on how fucked up we are.
Oh, you said the F word. Can we fucking cuss over here? Oh, that's right. We're on the antisocial network. So goddamn right you can.
We don't give a fuck.
We got
So
this many fucks to give.
that many. I can't do the upside down thing. I've tried it. My wrist don't work that way. Anyways, my special guest, Rob Wilds. He's the creator and one of the co-founders of the Antisocial Network. Rob, tell us a little bit about the Antisocial Network, man. What it's all about. The essence.
Well, it really got started for me with Wrestle Shoot back when I did it on like actual radio, like 20 years, more than 20 years. Jesus Christ. Am I that fucking old? Anyway, we eventually, after my old co-host passed away, we gave it a little bit of time. And then Chris and I decided to go ahead and start doing our podcast version of Wrestle Shoot, and it ended up evolving into a live stream. And then we decided to just start up our own network. Me and this cat, Leatherface, over at the Off the Hook Network, which is pretty much RIP to that dirtbag network. But went into this thing. We brought on Jimmy Castle, creepy Jimmy himself, and he was hanging out with us, and he was a partner in the business. And every time we took a step forward, Leatherface decided he was going to try to sabotage our own success.
Fuck.
Now, you're looking back on it, hindsight being 2020, it's obvious to me the man has a fear of failure. And I don't understand it, but I know it's a real thing. So anyway, I just finally had enough, and I talked to Chris, and I said, "Look, I'm done with Off the Hook. I think we should go ahead and get something else going." And every time I would recruit real talent to come over to that network, they would watch one of Leatherface's Sanitarium, see how poorly run it was, and they would just change their mind. They wouldn't want to come do anything with us. So finally, I just said, "I'm out of here, Chris. Let's go do something new." And I told Jimmy, because we're friends, I'm leaving Off the Hook, so I'm done with that bullshit. I'm going to start something else. And he's like, well, "Wait a minute, I'm going with you then." Oh shit, all right. And then the Antisocial Network was formed. And it was amazing how quick guys like you and Jeremy and the Butcher over there in UK and all these Lee, who does his United Kingdom boxing show, we got JD Stevens out there in California doing that "I fucked up, but it's going to be okay" podcast coming up pretty soon. And we got Vanessa and Ashley. We just got all these guys, Chansey, all these super creative minds and individualized. And we don't want to put you guys on a hook. We don't want to keep you on a leash. Like, yeah, man, let's run with this and see where it goes. If it's good for business, then it's good for everybody.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about, is being good for business and being able to bring everybody with you when you start succeeding.
That's right. And that's what I'm really digging about. Everybody's taking on the mindset of, we're gonna succeed or fail together as a team.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and that's, that's what I want to do when I came on. That's the one thing I said to you is I'm working on getting sponsors and getting sponsored, and I want to bring everybody. I want to bring the Antisocial Network with me, and not just sitting with Sean being sponsored, but the whole network itself being sponsored. That'd be fucking awesome.
That would be awesome. Yeah. And we're planning on getting some live events rolling out here, hopefully in the summer, with other personalities from the network. We're just going to do stupid shit. I don't know how much you've heard about the possible Butterbean incident I'm trying to work out, but basically, I'm going to let Butterbean punch me in the face for charity.
Oh, fuck.
No, we're going to live stream it right here over the network if it works out.
Oh, man. Are you prepared for that?
Fuck yeah, I'm prepared for that. You kidding me, dude? You know how many fucking giants have punched me in the face in the wrestling business?
Very true. Very, very true. Yeah,
We're friends. He's not going to go out there and try to kill me, but it's for charity, so he's going to make it count. So I'm prepared to actually go to sleep for a few seconds, but he's not going to kill me.
Well, going to sleep is actually a good reset. It resets your brain and wakes you back up, and you're like, okay, I feel refreshed. I'm back awake now.
Now, the problem is when you wake up and you drool it on yourself, and all you could say is pancakes, pancakes, pancakes. Rob, are you okay? Pancakes.
Yeah, but you can say one thing that not a lot of people could say. You got knocked the fuck out by Butterbean.
Well, I'll say this. I would be the second professional wrestler that Butterbean knocked out, but the best.
Yeah, we're not going to go into that one. Brawl for all.
Oh man, and he hit his head on all three of those goddamn turnbuckles going down. When Butterbean punches me, it's going to be in the middle of a ring, not off to the side.
No,
I had more ring awareness than that.
And that was the death of his career.
No, I think he was already dead after him and after Billy went solo. It was over for Bart.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Bart sucks. He's a cool dude. And back in the good old days, he was a fun dude to put him back with. But as a singles wrestler, man, he's just no fucking good.
No,
and he knows it.
Now let's go into wrestling. I mean, I love wrestling. I've grown up with wrestling. My first memory in life is Andre and Hogan at Mania.
Nice.
It's a good memory to have. Real good memory to have as being a kid. And so, like, wrestling has been with me for most of my life. What is one of the more valuable things or one of the biggest memories that you have being in the business?
Oh, shit. That's hard. It's hard to say because there's been a lot of them, but it's also hard to say because they all kind of blend together. After you've been hit in the head with so many chairs, they all just kind of become one long memory where you pull parts of it out sometimes when it's triggered.
Yeah.
But I'd say one of my fondest memories was probably the first time that me and Casanova tag teamed to wrestle Jimmy Snuka and Tonga Kid. And that was like the birth of the Apocalypse, which was, I was, and Chris was, I think very good singles wrestlers. But as a tag team, dude, we just broke through the ceiling, man. It was hot. And, we went up there with Snuka and Tonga Kid, and they ended up laying down for us because Jimmy really wanted to give us a chance to really shine when we were much younger. So we did our shtick. We went over in the match, and it worked. And the tag team charisma was so natural and free flowing that we just stuck with it.
Nice. Yeah, Jimmy. From all the stories I hear, Jimmy seems like a really nice dude.
He was rad, dude. Jimmy was rad until he was drunk. Then he was an insufferable fucking prick. But Jimmy was cool when Jimmy wasn't drunk. And it's not even drunk Jimmy. It was just Jimmy was an alcoholic, so he didn't know when to stop. And we know that alcoholism isn't how much you drink. It's how your body digests and processes the alcohol. It makes you do that blackout and all that shit. And that's where he would get me. There was one time that we were so hammered together that I was going to start throwing hands on Jimmy outside of a fucking cheap motel somewhere in California. And Casanova came out and got in the middle of it and stopped it from going where it was going because it was
Mhm.
going there.
It could have gotten a whole lot worse.
Yeah, Jimmy wasn't a spring chicken, so and I was. I would have fucking killed him, and then I would have carried that forever. Oh God, I hurt Jimmy, son of a bitch. I'm a
God
bad
damn
person.
it. Now, what? Seeing as we're on shoots here, I'm gonna throw a few names out there.
Oh, I like this game.
Give me your opinion of that person.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, we're gonna do a hot take. Hogan.
Dude, the shit. Hogan's the fucking man. All these people who go on the internet and tell these horrible stories about Hogan are a bunch of bitter motherfuckers. And I'm going to use somebody epic as an example. Macho Man was a bitter motherfucker. And when he wrote his little rap album, he goes to his brother, Lanny Poffo, and he says, I want you to write a song dissing Hogan for me. Yeah. And Poffo straight up said, look, I'm not going to do that because Hogan did more for me in my career than anybody has ever done. Now, Hogan looks out for business first. So if him losing to you makes sense and there's going to lead up to more matches, he's game for it. If it's just jobbing for the sake of jobbing, when he was younger, he used to buck back on that a lot. But no, Hogan, and he's just a rad fucking dude. He's just a super gracious guy, and he's nice to everybody. Even when he's in pain and he's just trying to get to his next spot and not be accosted, he'll still stop and sign all the autographs.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard horror stories about Hogan, so it's good to hear something good from him.
Yeah, he's a really super solid dude.
Nice. Yeah. That macho impersonation was great.
You're like, I'm talking about you, Hogan. Get in the ring, dig it. Cream always rises, yeah, and I'm better than you, yeah.
Jay Lethal does a great impersonation too.
He does a much better flair than a Savage. His flair is untouchable.
And he's a fucking amazing dude too.
And a great worker.
Yeah. I got to meet him in October. And he's one of the nicest people I've met, period.
And he only lives a couple miles away from me.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I love being in Tampa, yeah, where the boys go to play.
All right. We're going to move on. Flair.
It's just absolutely, completely insane. A loose cannon who doesn't really have much of a grip on reality. Whatever grip he did have, I think he drank that part of his brain to death.
Mm-hmm.
So, not a bad guy, depending on what day of the week you catch him on, too. But no, Flair's very about Flair and very, very crazy and too quick to flash to anger because the Nature Boy is not just a gimmick, it's a lifestyle.
Absolutely. Greatest of all time?
Oh, shit, me.
No, I mean Flair.
Oh! No, Flair is absolutely a fucking national treasure for professional wrestling. But to say that he's better than The Undertaker, to say that he's better than Macho Man, because Macho Man was a genius. There are guys who never really hit the rung where they should have hit for whatever reason, who could easily hang with Flair. But he has the track record behind him to at least say he's the GOAT and people not have too many jump offs to argue with him.
Yeah.
Like if you ask Hulk Hogan who the greatest wrestler is, he's going to tell you it's Ric Flair.
Yeah. He's not in my top 5. Flair's not in my top 5. But that's just me.
Yeah, that's the great thing about the wrestling business. It's so goddamn subjective. There are people who, even if they don't like the heel, will still cheer for the heel because that's what they do. So it's all subjective, man. And, you get to be whoever you want to be at a wrestling show.
Yeah. All right. Andre.
Oh, just a specimen. I've never met the man, but just growing up watching him work, every time he was even standing by the ring, All eyes were on him more than what was happening in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I found crazy? Growing up, I thought Hogan was the first person to body slam Andre.
Well, that's because that's what they told you, and you were, and that's what I tell. When people tell me wrestling fans are stupid, my first attitude is go fuck yourself before something bad happens to you. But my second thought is wrestling fans are not stupid. They are people who pay their money. They go inside, they sit down, they turn their intellect off and say, "Tell me a story," just like going to the movies. So nobody's ever told me to my face wrestling fans are stupid or I'd smack them in their fucking mouth. But people who say that, I just go, you're an idiot. You just don't know what you're talking about. You're just a hater. And haters going to hate. Fuck them.
Yeah. All right. Piper.
Everybody loves Roddy. Who didn't love Piper?
I love Piper.
I can't think of one person who would ever say that Piper's just off the cuff, constantly has something sharp to say. My only bitch about Piper was he wouldn't job. He wouldn't lose. And that's a problem because how far do you really, like, what do you think you're going to get when you won't lose? Like, do you think if Piper maybe had a more open mind about losing, that Hogan wouldn't have been like, yeah, let me drop the belt to Pipe. And then we'll have a rematch and he'll give it back. And then we'll have a rematch and I'll give it back. And let's drag this thing out for a fucking year and a half.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it like that. He thought, oh, if I lose, that makes me a loser. Dude, it's a work. Who cares? You know how many times I've lost?
Yeah.
Who cares? It's not a real win-loss record. Like when you're the champ, you didn't legitimately best another athlete for that championship. So just go with the gimmick. So that's my take on Pipe. But I always had a good time talking to him. He was so fucking funny all the time.
Nice. All right. This name I don't even like to say.
Oh,
Bret Hart.
I grew up loving Bret, thinking that the Hitman was what it was about. Don't meet your heroes. Bret is a great worker. He's terrible on the mic. He's got a good look that kind of grabs your attention. He's phenomenal in the ring. Outside the ring, Bret is all about Bret all the time, unyielding.
Yeah.
Bret's just kind of a dick.
Yeah, and my biggest gripe is after the Bret and Goldberg incident. I mean, Goldberg's apologized. Mind you, I'm not a fan of Goldberg, but Goldberg apologized. Bret still holds that grudge to this day.
Because Goldberg didn't apologize, but 15 years later, he didn't apologize when it happened. He never called the hospital to check on Bret. He didn't go backstage and say, Jesus, Bret, are you okay? He got out of the ring, got dressed, got in his car, and bounced. So,
oh, really?
Bret is legitimate to say that, Goldberg and that potato from hell. He has every right to be mad about it. Now, let's flip that coin over. I don't think the kick was quite as bad as Bret makes out to be.
No.
I don't think that kick was the career ender.
No.
But, Bret doesn't have anything nice to say about anybody ever, and that tells you everything you need to know about him.
Yeah. I think Owen was a much better overall performer than Bret was.
He was a better everything. Owen was great. Owen was the fucking man. Owen Hart was the first wrestler death that actually made me cry.
Yeah, I bet. I was just a kid, so I didn't understand the concept of what happened.
Right.
But yeah, that looking back now, that was a massive loss to the wrestling community. And
you want to know what was crazy
professional wrestling
about that night is I was still married and I was walking through because I didn't watch the pay-per-view and I was wrestling. We don't really watch the product, but I was walking through the living room on the way to the kitchen and the newscaster says, professional wrestler dies at live event. I don't know why, but just my head said Owen. And I stopped and just stared at the TV, waiting for that segment. Didn't move a muscle, just staring at the TV. And she says, who do you think it was? I said, I think it was Owen. She's like, no, it fucking can't be Owen. And it was. And we just sat on that couch and just bawled for a while. And I knew the whole time after Owen died that I was going to know about it before Bret knew about it.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, that's rough. Um, yeah, going back, like I've watched the tribute show quite a few times, and I mean, obviously they've taken the death video off of everywhere. You can't find it,
Right. Thank
which
God.
which is good. Nobody needs to see that shit. But to see like people actually breaking kayfabe and talking about Owen as the human being that he was fucking amazing.
Yeah. And nobody pulled a rib like Owen. Nobody. He was the fucking king.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, another name, Shawn Michaels.
God damn it. Keep waiting for you to throw out Honky Tonk Man so I could do my next impression.
We'll do honky tonk after.
Sean, Marty Jannetty, in my opinion, is far superior to Shawn Michaels in every aspect except a promo.
Yeah.
Sean knows how to sing, man. He just knows how to get it done. Now, Sean and Marty were probably one of the greatest tag teams ever. And but I have a weird assumption of how that works. Like I also put the Freebirds up there, one of the greatest tag teams of all time that didn't have a half of the work rate that Sean and Marty had.
Yeah.
Sean is a different person now than he was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, he was vain, selfish, aggressive, manipulative, and backstabbing, and he just was. Sean also didn't give a shit. Like, he'll fight you. And his attitude is, what's the worst that's going to happen? You'll kick my ass. Then what? I'm still talking shit. So, but the guy he is now, it's like he brought himself closer to God. So that's kind of the life that he's living now. He's a better person. Like Sean buys people's broken cars from them, puts the money into fixing them, and then just gives them away to single mothers.
Wow.
So that's what Sean's kind of become now, as opposed to what he was. Like, it's honestly, it's an amazing transformation.
Oh yeah, definitely. Considering where he was from and where he is now.
Yeah. Well, where he's from? He's from fucking San Antonio, dude. He grew up by the Alamo and the Riverwalk. Like Sean doesn't have a hard luck past.
Yeah. Okay, honky tonk. We'll go to honky tonk.
Well, let me tell you something, goddammit. The greatest goddamn Intercontinental champion of all time. My manager, Jimmy High, he knows it. You know it. I swam the Mississippi River to get over here today, and today the Honky Tonk Man's going to shake, rattle, and roll for y'all. I love Honky Tonk. I love Honky. He is my dude. I will fucking drop everything if Honky calls and needs me for anything. He's the shit. Now, Honky's another one that doesn't got nothing nice to say about fucking anybody. But when he says it, he makes sure it's funny. Like, here's the Honky Tonk Man story. So I'm running around backstage at Madison Square Garden. I just got done wrestling Macho Man, the greatest of all time. Oh yeah, Macho Man. Oh yeah. I tell everybody, don't tell Randy where the goddamn hell I went. I'm hiding from him. And then he'll just stop and stare at you randomly and wait for a response, wait for a reaction. So when you react, so then I hear Honky running around the back going, where's Wayne? Yeah, where's Wayne? Yeah, dude, I fucking love Honky, dude. He'll talk shit, man, but he is so fucking funny about it. He is absolutely honest. There has been multiple times in my career I've called Honky and said, I hate to keep putting shit on you, but this is the situation, and just what would you do?
Yeah.
And he tell me straight.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't heard anything bad about Honky, so that's kind of refreshing to hear too.
You hear a million bad things about Honky if you're looking for it, though. It's not hard to find.
True. Ultimate Warrior.
One more time back to Honky, everybody. I want you to recognize who's watching this. The Honky Tonk Man was the innovator, was the creator of the first shoot interview. And that's definitely worth mentioning. Warrior! Hulk Hogan! Jim Hellwood is a fucking psychotic piece of shit. I don't like to speak ill of the dead. So all I'm going to say is, anybody who changes his name from Jim to Warrior, it's a fucking mark, dude.
You know, watching that last promo that he did on Raw after he got into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I swear to God, he knew he was going to die.
He did. That's why he was running around making right with everybody, I think.
Yeah. I swear to
And
God.
you know, Randy did the same thing though, man. Like it's like he says, like it's like when the old tiger knows they're coming to the end, and Randy just started making men's with people around his life. Not, nay, I'm trying to get clean or I'm gonna die way. He just wanted to just, clean up his side of the street. And he did.
Yeah, I watched that last Warrior promo.
Horrible. And it was horrible. That mask, that weird strap-on thing he was wearing.
Yeah.
It was nonsensical. It didn't add up anything that he was saying except for after he died. Then people went, oh, shit.
Yeah. I'm 100% convinced he knew he was about to die.
And he's another one where I said, don't meet your heroes, man. Because like me and Doug Damien, we went to high school together. And we actually were such marks in high school that we bet on Hogan v. Warrior WrestleMania 6 on who's going to win. And I bet my money on Warrior. Damien bet his money on Hogan. Warrior went over. And to me, that was like gold. And then when I finally was so excited to meet the Ultimate Warrior, cocksucker. Just heartbreaking. He's such an asshole.
All right. Dusty.
And American Dream, baby. If you got to love it, the son of a plumber daddy. No, Dusty Rhodes was the man in all levels. Dusty Rhodes was the man.
Yeah,
but he knew he was going to. Now, Dustin and Cody, equally as cool as their dad. Like just a family of down-to-earth, incredibly talented professional wrestlers.
I've met Cody twice, and I met Dustin once. And both interactions that I had with him, amazing.
God, I wanted to wrestle Dustin so bad. Never happened.
Dustin was fucking awesome. Cody was amazing. When I met Cody, it was just right before he met Brandy.
Okay.
Or he was dating Brandy maybe. And he was just the most fucking cool, down to earth dude. It was when he had just gotten off of the paper bag gimmick, which I thought was really fucking awesome. And I was like, dude, you need to bring it back. And he's like, creative won't let me do it. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I can't bring it back, dude. People think the wrestlers have all this creative control, and all you can do is say what you are or are not willing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. New Jack. Oh boy. There's stories. I know there's stories.
There's always stories with Jack. I don't know how, when I so directly confronted him in the shower, how I didn't get stabbed that day. But I didn't. I think that he just was impressed that I was standing up to him in such a direct way rather than an irrationally angry, vulgar, aggressive way. But it was vulgar. I just pretty much pulled him aside and said, look, man, I know who you are, and I know even more who you think you are, but you don't know who I am, and you're in my territory, Jack. I got to wrestle here every week. You come in maybe once every 6 years because nobody wants to book you because you're garbage. You ever try to disrespect me in front of my crowd in my town in my ring ever again, it's going to get more than I think you're going to be ready for. And he just went, God damn. Okay. All right, man. Look, man, I wasn't trying to disrespect you. It's that everybody thinks you were. And everybody's asking me why I'm not saying nothing to you about it. And I don't want to confront you in front of them. This is none of their fucking business. But New Jack's he's an idiot. He's a thug. And he lies a lot. Like he got this story on YouTube he likes to tell about some, signing gimmick he was doing, and Nash was there. And he ran up behind Nash and grabbed him in a little fucking chokehold, and then Nash pushed him off and spun around and went, oh, New Jack? Oh. Now, fuck that dude. I've known Kevin Nash for a very long time. Somebody he doesn't know walks up, grabs him around the neck. Nash comes up swinging. That's just Nash, Hall, all them guys. They come up swinging. They didn't know New Jack. They'd never met him. They had no respect for him. So when you ask Nash about that story, he just laughs and goes, that's a complete fucking lie. That's not even kind of a lie. That's a complete lie.
Yeah. I think that New Jack kind of fabricates a lot of shit that he talked about.
Well, him and his whole 7 justifiable homicides. As I understand it, the real story about that is he was getting chased by a bunch of thugs, pulled out a gun, started shooting, and a bunch of them died. But it was a self-defense act, not I went out and I killed 7 people individually and I got off with it because I'm the shit knuckle. Now, fuck you, New Jack.
Yeah. All right. One of my personal heroes, Scott Hall.
Oh, God, he was the last wrestler that I actually did weep over. And I loved Scott. Everybody loved Scott. Even when Scott was drunk and doing real bad for himself and he was harming himself, he still was nice. And he still treated everybody with kindness and respect. Unless your name is Marty Jannetty. We all know the story about that one, right?
Yeah.
So we all know that he dinked up Jannetty. He gave Jannetty a shot back, and Marty was like, nah. No. Scott was great. He was genuine. He had a lot of demons, and I don't know what from. I don't know what he was covering up with his substance abuse, but it was something. He was hiding something big.
Yeah, I got to meet him back when I was a kid in DC. There's back when him and Taker were feuding.
Oh, when he was Razor or Ramon.
Oh yeah, when he was Razor Ramon. And a very fond story, and I just told this one today. My mom kind of was like, "Oh, there he is." I went up and I tugged on his pants and I was like, "Hey, Chico," and he grabbed me, picked me up, and he was like, "Hey, Chico," and hung out with me for a little bit. That was one of the coolest experiences of my life.
Yeah, he's rad. He was.
Yeah,
rad.
yeah, and I don't know, just everything he did in WCW, with NWO. I didn't like how they played on his alcoholism. Now, looking back, I didn't like that. But just everybody waited for that one phrase. And everybody get wound up for it. And they'd be like, "Hey, yo." And everybody just go ballistic. I swear to God, he was the highlight of the NWO. Fuck Hogan. I'm not saying fuck Hogan, but Scott Hall was the attraction. And everybody else, in a way, were supporting. I feel like
whatever show Scott was booked on, he was the attraction. It didn't matter if he was Big Scott or if he ended up as NWO Scott. Scott Hall always steals the show. He just does. He's that charismatic. He was that good that he could wrestle a broom, put the broom over, and make it believable.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, DDP.
I don't know. I mean, Dali's cool, I guess, kind of a dick. But, he... All right. Ready for some controversy?
Ready for some controversy. That's what we're here for.
I think it's fucking fantastic that Dali helped Jake and Scott get clean. And I'm not going to try to take that aspect away from him. But if he doesn't stop sucking his own dick over it, I'm going to fucking puke. Because let me tell you something, dude. What you did was cool. But notice that you never did it without a fucking camera crew. Take those cameras away and do the same thing, and then we'll talk about it. So, Dali, he's a nightclub promoter. That's what it is. Dali's a nightclub promoter. If he sees opportunity, he capitalizes on it, and consequences be damned.
Yeah.
Now, in this case, he saved a couple of lives for a while. We ended up losing Scott, but Jake's still with us, and he helped prolong the lives of some true legends, some real innovators in our business. But at the same time, he's just trying to sell videos.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing the same thing with Buff Bagwell, too.
Yeah, Buffy's doing good, though, man. I'm real happy to hear that. I talked to him actually just the other day, and I was like, man, I've been watching your progress, dude. I'm really proud of you. I knew you could do it.
When I met Jay Lethal, I got to meet Buff and Dallas in Alaska. And I got to go thank Dallas for saving my fucking childhood. You know what I mean?
What's your take? How did he interact with you?
He was super genuine. I went up to him and I said, "Hey, I want to let you know." And I was pretty emotional. I mean, I've been, sober 3 years, and so recovery is kind of my thing. And I got to go to him and say, "Thank you for what you're doing for people and helping getting them clean and sober and rehabilitating their body, mind, body, spirit." Um, but also like thanks for like rejuvenating my childhood. And he was like, "How old are you?" I told him, and he was like, "Makes sense, okay." But he was like super nice. And then he was like, Buff, he's like, "Marcus just got 30 days today." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." And I actually brought a coin for Buff because I knew that he had hit that 30-day mark, because there was some thought that he wouldn't be able to come to the show because he had relapsed before. And so I literally walked next table over, and he, I had his crutches, and I was like, "Hey, man," like Buff and I sat and talked recovery for like half an hour. And, I shook his hand. And when I shook his hand, I had the coin in my hand. And he looked at it and he like started tearing up. And he's like, "I just hit 30 days. I know." I was like, "I know, man, that's fucking huge. Keep going." And he like chaired a meeting that day, just a random ass meeting he went to in town.
Nice.
And like, it was really cool to hear his journey and like hear his struggle. Like he was like, "I haven't been on a plane since I've been in recovery." And he was like, "I was sitting in first class. They had the alcohol tray pulled over, and I could have just grabbed one and gone." And I was like, "Well, what'd you do?" And he was like, "I didn't." I said, "See, that's progress right there." And we got to talk that recovery, and it was awesome. And after the show, he met up with me, and we talked a little bit more. I'm proud of him. He's doing good shit.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be giving him a call here in a couple of months. I just want to give him a little bit more solid time. But then I'm going to ask him if he wants to do like a special edition of the Smells Like Hope podcast I used to do, revolving around sobriety. As a matter of fact, the last one that I did was with Jake.
Nice.
Yeah,
and if he wants to do my show, I'm down to have him too.
I bet you are.
Okay, so we're gonna move on from names, and we're gonna go best of all time in certain divisions. Tag team, best of all time. Who do you think the best tag team is of all time?
Dude, these are unanswerable questions. I can already see the rest of this segment isn't going to work. I can't do it, dude. Demolition, the Sheep Herders, the Freebirds, the Rockers, the Hart Foundation, the fucking Horsemen. How can you possibly put somebody over in that one? That's just rough. And then you got singles. What do you got? Flair, Hogan, Hart, Undertaker, Macho Man, Rick Rude, Mr. Perfect. How can you pick a best out of them? You really just can't.
Okay, so for me, favorites. We'll go favorites, and that we won't put a best or cap limit on it.
I couldn't possibly pick a favorite either. The best tag team of all time has got to be actually the Apocalypse. You hear that, Cass? You hear what I just did for us there, brother?
He put you over.
That's right. I put us over.
Yeah, my favorite has got to be Arn and Tully.
Sure. Brainbusters version, right?
Yeah. Yep. I absolutely love them. And it's crazy to think that I love them, and then looking at the product now, and there's only one tag team that I can pick out of everybody, and I'm like, reincarnation of the Brainbusters, and that's FTR.
Yeah, they were great. It's funny because people actually used to tell me and Chris in the back, "Boy, you guys tag team just like the Brainbusters." Fuck yeah! All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we'll skip over that. Okay, so we'll go into the hate for the modern product.
Yeah,
because I promised we'd get to that.
Piece of goddamn garbage.
Okay. What do you hate about the current product?
Everything. Look, dude. Professional wrestling was built on a backbone of a certain behavior, a certain way of life, man. Business used to be done in the bars and in the cars on the way to the next town. And now these fucking wrestlers are a bunch of Rudy Poo, candy-ass little bitches who only really went to wrestling school for like 3 months, did a little bit of time on the indies, built the perfect body, got the contract. They don't ride together no more, man. They go over to the airport, they fly out. They don't go to the bars. They go back to their hotel rooms and play Xbox. Are you kidding me? Look, man, would you want to go out and have, now let's say that we weren't both in active sobriety. Would you rather go out and have a beer with Vince Neil, or would you rather go play fucking Nintendo?
Vince Neil.
That's because Vince Neil is going to take you out in public, and he knows he's going to get attention, and he knows he's going to sell tickets to his show. Man, when I would go out after a show, we practiced kayfabe so strong that me and Chris would go sit with the heels or with the babies. We wouldn't just hang out with the guys that we were working that night. We steered clear of them. And just the fucking current now these guys can't work. They're a bunch of spot monkeys. Just like when Casanova just dressed down the Young Guns in LA, because they were walking around being pricks, man. And he said something to one of them, and they gave him some kind of a smart ass answer. He started laughing. And they tried to get like a little Loki. Oh, something funny, Cass? He's like, besides you guys? No, man. Look at you two clowns. You're fucking clown shoes. You're spot monkeys. You don't know how to work. What, because you can go out there and do a 360 at a shooting star, you suddenly think you could fucking work? But you can't work out of the sack. You're a couple of young guys. You're going to fucking burn out. Your egos are out of control. And to be honest, you suck. And what really sucks is you're probably going to end up on TV with as shitty as you are. In front of the entire locker room, Cass dressed him down. And those guys are prime examples of what the business has become. Like Austin and Rock and Billy Gunn and all them cats, they kind of helped usher wrestling out of any kind of decency. By the time they left, so did good matches.
Yeah. I look at a lot of the modern product and I don't like it. I used to, back when I was like younger and just discovering like New Japan and like some of these other companies, I was like all over the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, and I would even classify them as some of the best. But then I continued watching them, and I'm like,
Kenny Omega can suck my cock, by the way. Continue.
We'll talk about Kenny Omega after.
If we're talking about fuck him, he's worthless. He deserves no airtime.
Okay. All right. We won't talk Kenny Omega then. All right. So I started watching him, and the more that I watched him, it's the same thing over and fucking
every single night.
Every single night, right? And they've killed some of the most prestigious moves. They killed the fucking super kick. I don't care to see another fucking super kick till I die. They killed the destroyer that Petey Williams fucking invented. They've killed so many other moves that it's like I can't stand it. It's like, okay, I know it's gonna happen. Mind you, on top of that, they do 30 fucking hot tags in one match.
Right. You're supposed to do this many and that many if it really matters, if it's a title match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or otherwise, what's a hot tag? If the sun is out every day, then what's a sunny day? If you work 30 hot tags in one fucking match, then at what sense are you guys actually the tough rebounders? You've killed it.
Yeah. I literally counted hot tags in this fucking match I watched on Dynamite, and I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it was both teams running hot tags, and I'm like, oh.
And heels aren't supposed to run hot tags anyway. And them being the champions and the executives and the great famous motherfuckers should be like, no, you're the heels. Heels don't work hot tag.
No, but they lost the chemistry. People have lost the art of professional wrestling.
God, they're getting a headache just thinking about those two cunts.
Oh man. And like, speaking of like protected moves that have been completely abolished, what do you think some of these moves are that are overused now?
Everything. Nobody seems to have a finisher that anybody else respects anymore. Like there was a time when the Rude Awakening was devastating. How many neck breakers do you see in a match now? Too many neck breakers. Like something that is supposed to potentially paralyze you. You've taken 4 of them in one match. That's probably my biggest peeve is the neck breaker. When did Lucha Pass become so popular in the States? Put you off the ropes and they sidestep and push you, and then sidestep and push you again. Then the third time off, you do your spot. All that is speed for the sake of speed. That works in Mexico because that's what they were programmed to believe pro wrestling is. The United States version, that's what we were programmed to believe. Over in UK, where they work super strong style, that's how they see it. Everything has been bastardized and used and misused and pushed. Like, you're going to give me, 2 hurricanranas, a shooting star. You're going to hit me with 16 chairs, give me 14 neck breakers, then you're going to beat me with an armbar. Wait, what? How'd that go? No, we're not going to do any of that.
No. And that's like, I was talking to a buddy of mine last night, and we were talking. I said DDT used to be a fucking devastating move. Now it's a transition.
Oh, yeah, now it's just standard status quo. Yeah.
It's just
For
a
Christ's
transition.
sake, they did a campaign with Bobby Heenan walking around a sign saying ban the DDT. And now it's just like, it's not even a comeback move anymore. It's just a move now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It used to be a move that, like, on outside of Jake, it used to be a move that would set up for, it'd be a setup for a finisher.
Or it was typically before Jake, it was that you're getting your ass handed to you, babyface hits DDT's a comeback move, you both lay down and get a little bit of wind.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like, if you look, like, top rope moves aren't respected.
Not anymore.
No. Like, the suplex, the top rope suplex, used to be a fucking match ender.
Yeah, superplex.
Yeah, superplex. Yeah, I was trying to think of the name. I'm so frustrated over thinking that.
Sorry, I got your back. I'm here to get your back, baby. We're a team today. Yeah.
Boom.
I'm here to show you what you need to be shown. Yeah.
Is there anybody that you watch now, like any current professional wrestlers that you watch, that you're like, okay, it reminds me of how it used to be?
Oh, man, the Briscoes. I loved watching those guys. I like PG-13. He's good. Sheamus, whenever he hits that ring, yeah, dude, he's really into that old school mindset. I like him. I really like Bray Wyatt. Nia Jax, she's really good.
Yeah, Nia Jax is fucking awesome.
But typically speaking, it's just they all kind of got the same look and the same feel and the same overtures. But the reason for that is that Vince really helped fuck this whole thing up. As soon as they fired the wrestling writers and started hiring Hollywood guys, as soon as they started handing the boys scripts, is when shit went to shit. Because once upon a time, when Rob Wilds cut a promo, it was a Rob Wilds promo. When Ric Flair cut a promo, when Jim Duggan, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, Chris Casanova, Davey Boy Smith, they were all individual. They told them, we want you to hit these bullet points, and that's it. So these promos and these actions were all from the dudes. And now they're all going out there saying the words that are coming from the same brain trust, and it's obvious. Yeah. I had a promoter hand me a script for an interview once. I said, what is this? Because that's what I want you to say tonight. And I kind of chuckled, just dropped it and walked away. I don't even talk to me, dude. If you don't want me to go out there now, I won't. But whatever you wrote on that, I'm not reading it. Get the fuck out of here. Memorize the script. Kill yourself.
What about, okay, so Bray Wyatt is one of my favorite minds in the professional wrestling business now. What is it about Bray that you like?
Everything. He's strong. He takes his craft seriously. His psychology is strong. You could take a wrestler who only knows 5 moves, but does them in the right order, and it's going to look better than anything Kenny Omega ever did, unless he was with Chris Jericho. That was, to me, the only really time Omega made me say, wow. But it wasn't him. It was Chris.
Yeah.
I think, praise the man. And the way his promos are really good. His timing, his tone. Like, he reminds me a lot of how Jake would do promos. don't need to yell and get all crazy. Arn Anderson don't need to yell and scream, because that's not what really gets you the attention. What gets you the attention is when me and Casanova were talking to the camera. We didn't need to yell at you. We just told you what the fuck we were going to do to you tonight. And we're going to let you know that it's pretty much guaranteed. You're going to get fucked up tonight. You cannot show up. That would be easy for you. Fuck, I told people, don't listen to this crowd, man. This crowd, once that bell rings, ain't going to do shit for you. Save yourself. You guys lay down. We'll get a quick pen. I'll buy you a beer. Everybody's happy. Good, bad guy shit to say. But people nowadays, they don't know good, bad guy shit to say. They've got to go ask one of these fucking writers. And then the writers give them hogwash, and they say it on TV, and the stock of wrestling takes another dive.
Yeah, I absolutely love Bray Wyatt. I cherish that man with everything in my heart. When he got fired and essentially left the business, you didn't see anything from him at all.
He went away.
He went the fuck away, and he stayed in kayfabe until he came back.
Yep, until he got his job back. Yep.
And that was super impressive because he could have gone out there like every other person that got fired and went to another business and trashed WWE. He didn't.
But he wasn't really gone all that long because everybody's still got that 90-day no compete. So, like, for 90 days, you're not going to even see him going to autograph signings.
Yeah.
But I think he was smart, man. He just, like, absence makes the heart grow fonder. They're going to miss me and they're going to call me. And he was right.
Oh, yeah. I love Bray Wyatt. I think he's one of the best minds in the business. Like you said, he reminded me a lot of Jake. Just that there's everything about that man. The ring presence, the ring psychology, just fucking everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about him.
And that Fiend gimmick was pretty fucking sick, right?
Oh my god, dude! When I was telling my lady friend about that. I said, when I seen the Fiend debut, not the attacks that he was doing. I mean, those were badass. But his first match against Finn, I was absolutely mind blown.
Finn's another great one too.
Yes, absolutely. He takes his craft very seriously.
And he's from the same kind of sect as Sheamus.
Yeah. Him and Sheamus, like, and I gotta say, like, everybody outside of America takes their craft very fucking seriously.
Americans do too. That's not the thing. The thing is, American greed sets in. So people are opening up wrestling schools who come up with a couple grand to buy a ring and a couple grand to get a warehouse. And sure, those people know how to work. They can teach you how to work. But what's that really going to get you? Like, who is this guy? Me and Chris opened up a professional wrestling school. We turned out some top-notch talent. But we didn't do that 3-month expedited training bullshit and slap you on the ass to start booking you on some shows. Our guys had to do at least 6 months before we would even give them an exhibition squash match on one of our shows.
Yeah.
And the Americans don't really follow that standard for the most part when the rest of the world does. The rest of the world, like I went to school for a year, Chris went to school for a year or 2 years. And we got our asses handed to us learning our craft by the old guys who were teaching us something new. Yeah. It doesn't really work like that anymore. Now the old guys aren't much older than the young guys. And it's just a big clusterfuck.
Yeah. One of my personal favorites from outside of the U.S. is Nakamura. But they have absolutely shit on him.
I think my all-time favorite foreign-trained wrestler is William Regal.
Oh, yes.
That guy is just a genius in every sense of the word.
I absolutely loved when he shit on Goldberg.
Yeah, beat the hell out of Goldberg. Yeah. But he still did the right thing, didn't he? At the end of the day, he still did business and put Billy over. But he made sure that the next day Goldberg showed up to work going like, I'm not working with Steve again, am I? I don't want to.
Yeah, I absolutely love William Regal. I wish that they hadn't taken him out of a wrestling role and put him into a manager role.
Your body can only take so much when you wrestle strong style.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Very true. Shane or Drew McIntyre's another one that I like.
Yes. Now, see, like you pop out these names, and I'm just not bringing it to my head. But as soon as you say them, I'm like, oh, hot damn, you're right.
Yeah, I like Drew. He's definitely revolutionized who he is and turned it up a notch, and that's fucking awesome.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to see. Oh shit! What the god damn it? What's her name? The creepy British bitch, Paige. I'd love to see Paige jumping back into it, man. She was. I haven't been that big of a fan of a woman's worker since Ivory. She was fantastic. Her and Victoria were just they
Yeah.
had fantastic A+ top shelf matches. Main
So
event.
so she's on AEW now.
Who is?
Paige.
Get out of here.
Yeah, she's going under the name Soraya.
Well,
Yeah.
fucking good for her, man. Good for her. I know why she left Vince, so good for her.
Yeah. My only problem is like I said earlier is when people leave WWE, they burn the bridges on the way out. Like you don't necessarily want to burn the bridges on the way out because yeah, you have a contract, but you're not guaranteed to have that contract's going to stay in place. So you don't burn the bridges.
Yeah, I mean that's true to a sense, but in another sense, when you leave the WWE, it's under bad terms, so you're already angry. You've had so much taken away from you. You need to lash out.
Very true.
Personally, I agree with you. Don't fuck that up because if you tell the world what a cocksucker Vince is Vince ever going to talk to you again?
No.
No, but if somebody in a street interview says, so what about your departure from the WWE? You know, at the time, it just wasn't making enough sense. I love the crew. I love the family. Nothing bad to say about him at all. Maybe I'll go back one day. Say that shit and see how quickly your phone rings. If Vince goes, dude, thanks, man. You, fuck AEW. Come on back over here.
Yeah. And
I think Tony Khan's a cunt. He really is just a nutless wonder, just a worthless sack of jism.
He's a fucking mark.
He's a mark whose daddy has a lot of money, born with a silver spoon. The audacity of him to call himself a real promoter when you turned on the top drawing talent that your company has ever had, you put your belt on him, and then you turned on him for those 3 chuckleheads. Man, fuck you, Tony Khan, you goddamn stupid cokehead.
Yeah, dude. Punk was the biggest draw.
Ever that they've ever had. I know Big Show came over, but he wasn't getting in the ring. No. Punk was there, and Punk was putting on pay-per-view quality matches on house shows.
Oh yeah. Punk is one of my favorite of all time. I had an interaction with him in 2011, and the man literally hung out with me for an hour, and that cemented I fucking love Punk. Yeah, he was a human being. He was a human being to me, so I enjoyed who he was.
I think me and Punk's personalities are maybe too similar, and that's why we banged off each other so hard. Just we don't like each other, but I'll tell you this: I have undying level of respect for the man.
Absolutely,
but
all right. He's a dick. All right, so we're coming up on that hour, Rob. Let us know where we can find you.
Find me. All you gotta do is open your eyes, baby. I'm always around.
Baby.
Check this out, man. Facebook, Antisocial Network. We're on YouTube, Antisocial Network. Me and Casanova do Wrestle Shoot on the Antisocial Network. You can hit me up on Facebook as our Rob Wilds. Then I'll send you over an invite to be a part of the Antisocial Network as a follower.
Yeah, baby.
And we're always recruiting, man. If anybody out there has got a unique show idea, man, if you've got something individual to say, we're not looking to pick up more just everyday, boring, stupid ass shows. But if you got something unique and individual to say, you got an interesting idea, hit me up, hit Sean up, man. We'll talk about it. We'll see what we can do about getting you over. There's a lot of perks to being part of the network.
Yes, there is. And I am Sean, your host of Late Night with Sean.
He's Sean.
I want to thank you, Rob, for being on the show, man, and just hanging out with me for this hour, man.
Anytime, baby. It's fun.
It's always fun to get the inside scoop on wrestling, man.
And the thing is, I tell these stories so often, and you would think that it gets old, but People need to people need to be enthralled by wrestling again. So when some idiot like me comes on and says, CM Punk's a dick, they're gonna be like, well, fuck you. Anyway, what's this guy gonna say next? Let's keep listening.
Man, fuck you, man. Why? Why is he a dick?
Well, let me
Absolutely.
tell you why. No, CM Punk's not really a dick. Me and him just don't click. Just so everybody knows, Punk, don't be sending me any fucking emails, dude, talking shit. It's okay. I'm not bashing on you. I'm just bashing on you. All right.
All right. And everybody, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us for this hour. I really enjoyed my time here hanging out with Rob. And if you guys would go ahead and give this video and every video that we do a like and subscribe and a follow.
Every one of them.
Every goddamn one of them.
Take it.
Because we are entertaining. All right. All right.
If nothing else, we're entertaining.
If nothing else, if you hate my face and you hate Rob's face, we're entertaining.
I love the beard. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I got it trimmed up, man. It was getting super long.
Every time I see you, sharp dressed man starts playing in my head.
I get that. Duck Dynasty.
Dynasty.
I get Duck Dynasty, yeah, and I get Alaskan Bush People, and I'm like, don't compare me to them pieces of shit.
Oh,
not the first two, but the last ones. Yeah,
doesn't matter. You called somebody a piece of shit, so they are a piece of shit.
And with that, we are gonna end it.
End it already. We're overtime.
We are overtime. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday.